Radio Rahim with Johnny Nelson. Always a pleasure, always fun.
I missed that deep voice of yours. Say it again, baby.
Radio Rahim here with Johnny Nelson. I put a little bit extra on it for you that time. Listen, the last time I was in Saudi and rain was falling from the sky, ironically, was Joshua Ruiz, 2. Mm-hmm. AJ was able to reclaim the heavyweight championship of the world right here.
Omen. Might be a good omen. We don't know. We don't know. Might be a good omen.
Never would have thought so many years later we'd be back in Riyadh, back with Joshua on the top of the card, fighting none other than an MMA world champion, UFC lineal champion, an 0-1 fighter in boxing. What is the significance of this fight? Truly, beyond just, the spectator element of it, what's the significance of the fight?
It's been no secret. I poo-pooed Francis Ngannou when he was fighting Tyson Furys. I said, nah, this is stupid. This is like a walk in the park. Game changer. What kind of game changer is this? Then the rest is history. Ngannou went through, put Tyson on his ass. It came through. Tyson won eventually. There's controversial about whether he deserved to win or not. All of a sudden, people that are supposed to know what they're talking about, like me, and even Tyson, underestimated this MMA guy because we got boxing snobbery. We think, nah, no man's coming into our sport, especially if he had no fights. To do that to the best fight in the world, he did. And he did. So now AJ is in the position as he has he's fortunate to have hindsight. He knows now what to expect. And so now he knows, and the whole world knows what to expect, because Francis Ngannou possibly beat the best fighter in the world. We know he's patient, we know he's strong, we know he punches like a bull kicks. We know he's dangerous, we know he's very competent, very mature. So now Anthony Joshua has to respect this man, not like Fury did. He's got to respect him. And Fury's trying to take credit for that, saying, look, I set this up. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be X, Y, Z. Let's concentrate on this on Friday night. Friday night, Anthony Joshua going in with a guy that's bigger than him out of everybody. I don't mean height, I mean thickness, I mean power, strength, I mean everything about me is mature. And when we saw him yesterday doing a public workout, I know it's like Anthony Joshua can't win, he can't lose. He's either, and I thought yesterday he looked very tense, very serious. And Ngannou was in our studio, and Joshua was in the ring, and he wasn't even bothered about watching him. He was like the one that's talking like a champion, walking like a champion, acting like a champion. And Joshua's no nonsense. The kids are there doing a bit of shadow boxing. Like he was stood there like a PE teacher. Behave yourself. But he was really straight faced, got out, boom, did a couple of inches, rings fight, and left. And Ngannou was like enjoying the moment.
Right. Well, he's still the guy who has nothing to lose. Same as with Fury, except this time. And you know what? I had to apologize to him the first time I saw him here.
We've all, it's no joke. It's boxing snobbery. We've all had to apologize. And the thing is, the problem in this fight is the big if.
Right.
It's only the big if.
It's a big if, but Johnny, we hate being wrong, right? Which is why not only it took some humility to apologize, but it's the same thing that you say. This sport, you can't just walk in the front door, nothing on your resume, and fight even a mid-range fighter, much less a lineal heavyweight champion. And he's done that and made it competitive. But are we now going to be victims of our own hubris and say, well, now that he's done it and now we've seen this and he's able to do that, well, now we're making this more of a competitive matchup than it should be. Shouldn't this still be a mismatch?
You know what? As far as I'm concerned, common sense should prevail. Anthony Joshua's skill and experience as a professional boxer. You look at his pedigree from the Olympics all the way through to being a 2-time heavyweight champion of the world. The amount of ex-champions he's beaten at boxing. This should be a shutout. The only way Ngannou wins is if that big if appears. That big if is this. This guy can punch. He punches like a mule kicks. If he hits AJ with a full-blooded shot, you know he can punch. On the shoulder, on the rib, on the hip, on the chin. It's a case of how Anthony Joshua deals with that response. He's going to get hit.
Well, he might get hit to the body.
He will get hit because this
more likely than the chin.
Yeah. So I saw Ngannou like just tapping the pads. You play golf and you know you've got a good shot because the ball's like a bing.
Yeah, you hear the
So when he was hitting the pads, it was like boom. It was just solid. You thought, damn.
But you saw him do the work on the body shield, right? Mm-hmm. Listen, I think he showed his hand a little bit. Like the work he was doing on the body yesterday, I think betrays the game plan he has for Friday. You think Joshua can take? Everyone's worried about the chin. You think he can take it to the body like that?
You know what? If Joshua got stopped, I'm not saying Joshua gets stopped. If he got stopped, it'll be a body shot. It won't be a chin shot. It'll be a body shot. if he gets stopped, and it's a big if. That's the only chance I'm giving Ngannou because I'm a boxing snob. There's no way this guy should come into our sport of boxing and beat any top 10 heavyweight worth his weight in salt, unless that top 10 heavyweight does what Tyson Fury did. Tyson Fury got the gypsies warning. Yeah, he got through and got the win. And everybody's thinking, well, did you really? And everybody knows who Ngannou is. So they're going to respect this guy and prepare to the best of their ability, like Anthony Joshua did. The worry is this. If you box, you're going to get hit. And Anthony Joshua is very orthodox compared to Tyson Fury is very unorthodox. And Ngannou still had success with such an unorthodox fighter in Tyson Fury. So Anthony Joshua cannot box defensively. If he boxes defensively, Ngannou's going to squeeze him down and eventually get him down. And if he gets up close and personal, that's heaven for him. He's close. You know, Ngannou's close. That's what he does.
Yeah, on the inside, he was very impressive against Fury.
He'll get him tie him up, and AJ will have to fight his way out, and that's what will zap the energy out of him. If he tries to box offensively, Ngannou showed he's got patience, no panic, hand-for-eye coordination. He's not the fastest, but he's waiting for the time counters. This guy can punch. AJ has to box sharp, box smart, box intelligently. If he boxes him, he beats him. I don't believe he knocks him out. I really don't. I believe he beats him on points.
For Fury's sake, he's going to turn up today. Everybody's going to be pretending like they're not looking, but they're going to be inspecting that cut, making sure those stitches are real, which has been one of the things that, you know, we just can't, sometimes we just can't accept that the thing that we expect to happen doesn't happen. We would have been here for the Undisputed Heavyweight Championship by now, but instead we have this, you know, tremendous fight, but Fury is always turning up to turn it up. Now having to face Usyk, with a potential at least scar tissue cut that could open, a poor performance against Ngannou. Does it change the scales?
Not really, no. I think so. Fighters can. There's two ways of losing. You can lose or get beat. I think Tyson Fury, he almost lost because of what he did. He didn't get beat by Ngannou, and that's because he didn't respect the man that was in front of him. It's hard to respect a man that you don't respect before the fight. It's hard to respect him mid-fight. And so Tyson Fury had to dig in deep, slip, survive, use all the old school tricks to make sure he got through it. And it just reminds me of when AJ boxed Ruiz the first time. I can remember Ruiz walking in, and it was a weigh-in. Ruiz walked in, he had a bouncer in front, a bodyguard in front of him, and everybody thought Andy Ruiz was the bodyguard. He was big and stacked, walked through. Instead, it was this little fat Mexican behind him. Andy Ruiz's trousers, jeans were hanging low. He just looked like he just tried. I said, we were there, oh man, people gave tickets back. The rest is history. When Ruiz got in there, it's like, oh, we slept on him. Even AJ slept on him. So then after that, everybody knew who Andy Ruiz was. Andy Ruiz has probably boxed twice since Anthony Joshua. Why? Because everybody knows who he is. And the other thing is, maybe that lifestyle, the attraction, the money that it brought in, it's dampened his hunger. Now with Ngannou, I know he got, and it's no secret, so I ain't talking man's business. He got paid $10 million last fight. He's getting paid $20 million this fight. I'm just wondering, that's life-changing money. Has this changed this man's hunger, his desire, his reason to get up at stupid o'clock in the morning and go for a run? Personally, I don't think it has, because the way he was talking, can I say bullshit? Yeah. I know when a fighter's talking bullshit. I know when a fighter's trying to buff and bullshit his way through it. This man ain't trying to bullshit his way through anything. He's very matter of fact. He knows what he's got to do. I don't believe Anthony Joshua knocks him out, and if he does knock him out, trust me, that actually is actually, and I've got to respect, and I've got to be humble. I've got to say, I'm sorry, Ngannou. I'm sorry, Tyson Fury. I poo-poo this guy. If Anthony Joshua knocks this big piece of man out, he's done a number on him, because on Ngannou, you get close to him, the lights are out, man. It's just like, the guy's huge. I don't mean he's just big. He's a big athlete.
All right, but with all that said, now let's go down the line here. You say if Joshua knocks out Ngannou, which would be a massive thing to do, and what we've seen from Fury, the way I set it up, two questions. Does it change the scale, the metric between Fury and Usyk? And do you see Joshua beating Fury?
Why? I think Fury underperformed against Ngannou. If they fight again, it will be a completely different fight, and we will see the difference in class and skill. I'll always stick to that. Fury's the best technical fighter so far, heavyweight fighter there, until he fights Usyk, and then we'll find out what goes on. In my opinion, I think he beats Usyk. But going on his last performance, you know, if that is who Tyson Fury is, he gets knocked out against Usyk. So I don't believe that he trained to the best of his ability and he had the perfect training camp in his last one. I don't believe it. I believe he dropped the ball in it. So therefore, if he wants people to believe it, that means his legs have gone. I don't believe it. I just believe he underestimated the man in front. So tell one lie or tell the truth, but take the beating. So I think if they fought again, Fury and Ngannou, I think it'd be a completely different fight, and Fury, it'd be day and night. Fury will shut him out. It'd be too slick for him. So I still believe Fury beats Oleksandr Usyk. Oleksandr Usyk has proved, you know what, I've done my job. I prepared. You look at Fury's condition now compared to when he boxed Ngannou last time. That kind of solidifies what I'm saying. Because he's got himself in condition. Now you're seeing the difference between today and yesterday. And so in regards to Anthony Joshua and Ngannou, Anthony Joshua needs to get rid of him. I keep saying risk reward does not weigh up. The reward is, financial. That's it. There's no other. And if it's about the money, I understand that. These men are talking about his legacy. So the risk is this. The risk is this. If, God forbid, he lost to Ngannou, a guy that's had his second professional boxing match, regardless what field he's come from, how will Anthony Joshua get over that mentally as a fighter, not as a promoter, not as a manager, as a fighter, to say, I've just lost to a guy that's had 2 professional fights. He's a former world champion twice. He's a former Olympic champion. So as a fighter, how do you lift yourself and justify it? I can justify losing to number 9, number 8, number 7, number 6, number 5, number 4, the heavyweights in the world, because it's this, is that. You cannot lose to this man. And this is the pressure that's on AJ's shoulders. He can't afford to lose. If he loses to him, mark my words, Anthony Joshua will pack him boxing, because he will not be able to get over it.
And to the same degree, if he wins, especially by a knockout, is he back in the form that he claims and feels he's back?
We saw his last performance, and his last performance, he boxed well, and he did a great job, attitude change and everything. If he can take that same attitude into this fight against Ngannou, he's back. The boy's back. The spike's back. He's back.
And we're back. Nobody better than Johnny Nelson on Fight Week. Let's go.
Day, Barry White, Monday.
And Radio Rahim here with Johnny Nelson. You be cool now.